Good morning, all. Welcome to the Personnel Committee meeting of Derby City Council. It's the 12th of September. Here today. I'll start. I'm Councillor John Evans, the Chair of the Personnel Committee meeting.
I'm Paul Martin, Principal Lawyer.
I'm Councillor Saqib Ahmed of Blake Ward.
I'm Councillor.
Holmes McLean.
Craig Stanley, Democratic Services Manager.
Tanya Hay, Organisational Development Manager.
Being Manager. Dominic Monaghan, Democratic Services.
Thank you all. Item 1, do we have any apologies?
We have apologies for Councillor Morhall and Councillor Kozlowski.
Okay, noted.
I don't think this has Kathy sent apologies.
She did, yeah. She's got a meeting that clashes with this one.
As far as I'm aware, unless it's really late item, and there's no late items been dropped on the chair. Okay. Item 3, any declarations of interest? Not? Thank you. Okay, item 4, the minutes of the meeting held on the 27th of June 2024. I can go through them roughly, or say page numbers if anybody does have comments. Page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 4. Any comments? No?
Chair.
Thank you. Move as printed. Item 5, colleague health and wellbeing update and quarter 1 24-25 attendance management performance. I believe this is in the hands of Carl and Liz.
Thank you, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I can take committee through initially with also this report. Committee members will recognise this as a standard report that we bring to the Personnel Committee to update primarily on our approach on colleague health and wellbeing, but also, as the Chair's outlined, a headline on our performance as accounts of quarter 1 on attendance management. So perhaps Carl will start us off with some information around the approach on occupational health and wellbeing, and then I'll pick up some of the attendance management for quarter 1.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl.
Thanks, Liz. So, hi everyone, morning. So just want to update on occupational health and wellbeing approach with previous committee meetings. The occupational health service is on track against service level agreements, delivering appointments within 15 days of receipt of any referral. Integral part, as I mentioned before, of the wellbeing offer is the employee assistance programme, which is externally hosted, and colleagues can access information and advice on a range of health and financial matters 25 days, 7 days a week. An update for committee. So from the 1st of July, we moved provider of our EAP service. And since the launch on the 1st of July, the data shows that this is building on the supportive work from our previous provider. We've seen encouraging signs from our promotion of the new service across all council to colleagues, and we continue to embed the messages during the first quarter of its launch from July through to September. Our initial launch data tells us that just in the month of July, colleagues have engaged with the new provider, and we've seen substantial interactions already. For the month of July, I've highlighted the data for you. The anonymised data for the supplier shows we had 28 calls into the EAP helpline. We had three counselling sessions fully completed. We had 434 users of the app, and we had 74 support requests directly through the app, 30 phone contacts, 18 live chats, 23 callback requests, and 3 video calls. The above usage data is very encouraging for the first month and indicates that the communication channels and roadshows used were highly effective in the promotion launch across all colleagues. Anonymised usage data for the first three months of the new contract will be available from October, so I can share that with Personnel Committee. And regular monitoring of anonymised usage data as part of the contract management and assessment of impact is scheduled with myself. A further significant development is that the council now has access to the Joined Up Care Derbyshire wellbeing offer effective from 1st of September that I've mentioned at previous committees. Council colleagues now have full access to the Joined Up Care Derbyshire wellbeing timetable, which provides a wealth of workshops, webinars, courses, clubs, activities, and dedicated colleague support cafes, which all colleagues can access. The timetable consists of over 250 sessions each month and is delivered daily, Monday to Friday, by the Journey Up Care Derbyshire's highly trained health improvement advisors. Monthly events and clubs also take place over some weekends, and sessions are delivered virtually and or face-to-face across various locations, helping to support colleagues. And just to add on there, they are recorded as well, so people can go in their own time if they want to refresh. The wellbeing timetable is refreshed each quarter to enable our colleagues to choose to access a wide range of up-to-date services, resources and information best to support their health and wellbeing goals. And we do have control over that, so that's monitored by myself, that we can actually look at liaising with them to change some of the sessions if we feel that there's a need. Just pass to Liz for the attendance management performance.
Sure, before you pass, has anybody got questions relating to that?
Well, it's good one.
My only slight question then is, it's obvious, I think, but it says 434 users of the app. Would that be different users? Or if I logged on to the app twice, would it log me?
No, so that's 434
Okay, that's good.
individuals
Yeah, okay.
that downloaded it.
Okay, thank you.
Really pleasing number.
Yes. Thanks, Chair. So just building on from the really positive updates that we've had on our wellbeing offer, just to set some context headlines, which we always do for committee on performance on attendance management, Q1. So as you'll see from the report at 4.3, the performance for Q1 is 2.89 FTE days lost. And based on that, for Q1, admittedly, that's a year-end forecast of 11.57 days. Obviously, we'll continue to keep monitoring throughout the year. It's pleasing to see that that's a decrease on Q4's performance. So Q4 was 3.35 days lost at the end of the last financial year, so at 2.89 in the first quarter of this year. And we are forecasting a decrease, although it's greater than the year-end target. We are forecasting a decrease on the performance for the outturn for last year as a whole. But as I say, obviously, we'll keep committee updated as we go through the course of this year. You can see in the report there's some headline information for the three directorates in the council, and also just to committee members that, as you have heard before, services that might be experiencing levels of absence currently have action plans in place where the heads of service and the managers are working with colleagues on how to support them to be well and at work or return to work if they're off long term. And obviously we're hopeful as well that this enhanced wellbeing offer that we've been launching over the summer will be supported to colleagues who may be absent for a range of reasons. And also we're doing some work with the performance team in the council to develop a bit of a dashboard for our corporate leadership team, which will give more detail about areas of attendance so that directors who are accountable as officers can commission some deep dive work where relevant. You can see further down in 4.3 that the top 3 reasons of absence for Q3 are stress and anxiety. There's a decrease though compared to Q4, musculoskeletal with a slight increase, and mental health. And then at the bottom of page 3, and just going over onto page 4, committee will note that we've indicated the top reasons for absence below the top 3 reasons, if I can put it that way, for the last financial year. There was a request to provide headline figures. So that's provided for information. So we've included again for completeness the top 3 reasons for absence, and then below that we start at viral infection and beyond. So viral infection at 6.12%. The other thing that I would add and just draw committee's attention to is any absence code with less than 1% absence hasn't been included. But again, just picking back up on Carl's really positive update on our enhanced wellbeing offer, we're hoping that will bring some really positive benefits to all of us, not only those who might be experiencing some level of absence. And we're also going to be reviewing our absence codes so that we can sort of rationalise and streamline some of those absence codes to make sure that we've got really clearly defined lists.
I'll pick up. Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you want to do any questions now?
If Chair, or you want to, if anybody's got any questions,
Yeah,
really just ask the Smale.
One Chair, thank you, Councillor Evans. It's obviously under absence reasons with percentage, which is a great breakdown. I noticed that we have COVID-19.
Yes.
Is that from council employees self-administering tests, or are we still testing ourselves?
We're not carrying out the testing, Councillor Smale. No, this is if somebody says it tells us that they're off sick because they tested positive.
So even though they might not be testing themselves, it's a self-assessment. They think
Yes.
they've got COVID.
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
That's fine.
Councillor Bonser.
Just a couple of points. Under 4.3, I think it's a typo. Is it at the end of that column where it says 2021-22 full time?
Oh, apologies.
yes.
Yes, apologies
Yeah.
for that. Thank you.
And just a comment really on the high level of absence in place and the impact really that that's had on our services and residents' experience this year in terms of bin collection. You know, it'd be interesting to know what plans. I mean, that tends to be covered by agency, doesn't it, in street refuse collection?
They will pick up a variety of ways of addressing it. They do have obviously some agency cover. In Street Pride, other services may sometimes use agency in relation to sickness absence. And we know that the heads of service and service managers in that area work closely with their colleagues in terms of monitoring and managing absence and enabling colleagues to access the wellbeing support as well. Yeah.
And Sue, related to what you said, you tend to know when they've been using the agency staff because we get reports of missed bins more because they're not familiar with the rounds like that, the usual refuge collectors. Yeah. Sue, you answered my question. Liz, you answered my question I was going to ask. The percentages don't add up to 100%, but you said it, that the ones that are 1% or less, you've not included.
That's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So 4.4, so future focus for 24-25, as Liz has alluded to with the action planning work, our focus throughout the remainder of 2024 is to launch the wellbeing strategy, as this will form an integral part of the council people strategy, including our partnership with Joined Up Care Derbyshire. Colleague wellbeing is one of the key work streams for our people and culture programme too. Our prevention focused wellbeing approach supports our vision of ensuring that health and wellbeing is embedded in everything that we do and championed at all levels and across all functions, so that positive wellbeing becomes part of the culture. It's really important. Our focus over the next few months will be to develop and launch our wellbeing champion network to signpost colleagues on a range of health and wellbeing issues. Our aim is to have 10% of the workforce as wellbeing champions and advocates, and that current number will be around 310 colleagues. Review the Joined Up Care Derbyshire Wellbeing Offer partnership and usage whilst ensuring key council wellbeing themes are included for colleagues. Review the anonymised usage data for our new EAP offer. Launch our new internal wellbeing pages to support our colleagues and provide the tools needed to make healthy choices so that our colleagues can continue to take personal responsibility for improving their own health and wellbeing. And continue with the attendance group work and ensure managers are making progress against their action plans. Really important. I'll stop there.
So, Chair and
Sorry.
committee members, sorry, obviously happy to pick up any other questions, but also drawing the committee's attention to obviously the recommendations at 2.1 and 2.2 to note, which hopefully you've heard from Carl about our very positive, developed and enhanced wellbeing offer that's been launched, both the new EAP and the Joined Up Care Derbyshire provision since committee last met, and also at 2.2 to note the performance. Chair.
Thank you, Liz. And Councillor Bonser.
Just a quick one. Just wondered whether you're doing anything in terms of flu, supporting the flu vaccination or anything like that this year, or as we head towards that season?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want me to answer that?
Yes,
yeah.
please.
So our public health colleagues are working with the NHS campaign, and that's going to be published very shortly, I believe. And it's important that we get the messages out there. That'll be key.
So we're doing it here, or because you have before, haven't you, done flu vaccines
Yeah,
here?
the public health team in control of that. I think it's pharmacy at the moment. We have recommended that, I think it's the last 2 years, the contract is pharmacy that they've got. Yeah. But we've recommended that we can pick up extra if needed, and we'll liaise with them. But it's important, yeah, that we start getting the message out now.
Comments? Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Carl. Thank you. Move on. Item 6, the apprenticeship programme. I believe this is your forte, Tanya.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, everybody, and thank you again for the opportunity to update you on our apprenticeship programme. So the purpose of the paper is to update you on the programme, also to give you data on the council's widening participation and apprenticeship performance stats, Also to give you an update on the government's announcements around skills, the skills landscape, and to provide the usual levy spend update as well. And the recommendations are to note the progress of the programme, to note the stats, and to note the information from the government, and also to note the levy payments. So moving on to supporting information. So again, with our leadership and management programme, as you are well aware, this is a really successful programme. We've now been running for a few years, since 2018 actually, with predominantly with Derby University. We've got another 17 starts this autumn across September and October across the four levels. So we're really looking forward to them starting. And as you can see in the report, we currently have 35 colleagues on the programme, and successfully 57 have graduated through using that programme. So as you can see, it's a really successful programme we have in place. We also have some new starts this year. Obviously, with the current climate we have with budgets and reducing teams, we have we've had a reduction in our new starts, but we are working with managers as much as possible to try and encourage them to take on new starts. And at the moment, we have 3 apprentices going through advert for business administration within the council, and we're also processing 2 teaching assistants within our local schools as well. So those are the new starts at the moment that we're working with. And on our workforce development apprenticeships, we've got 16 colleagues due to start in this autumn, other than the management and leadership, so that's on top of those, and those are in different subject areas, as you can see there, including accounting, children, young people, practitioners to support with our children's homes, teaching assistant, and one that I'm really quite proud of is the long distance lorry drivers, large goods vehicles drivers. It's taken me 3 years to get into Pride and support them to take on. We've got 4 starting imminently, so I'm really pleased with that, and I'm working with managers there with some more start, and that's in to support with the food collection that will be starting in 25. So that's to support with that collection as well. I'm really pleased with that work. Also, we've been working with Derby Adult Learning Service to support the people in that service area to upskill their functional skills, to enable them to go on that programme moving forward. So this is the start of what we're hoping is a really supportive career development process for teams down at Stores Road. So yeah, I'm really happy with the progress there. Levy transfer, as you can see, we're working with local businesses. There's 20 local businesses we're working with at the moment, and we've got currently 26 apprentices on programme, and starting in September and October, got another 10 more joining. So that's really a quite healthy transfer programme as well, and that's working in conjunction with our economic development colleagues. So that's where we are with our current programme at the moment. They're the key headlines. So moving on to our performance statistics that the Department for Education give us. Unfortunately, this is going to be our last set of performance figures, and it leads on to the next point, 4.3, with the changes that are going to be happening with the Skills England. So these are our last set of figures that we will be getting at this point in time. It may come back into play in the future, but at the moment, this will be the last set. And as you can see, this is a percentage of all of our starts. So these are new starts and workforce development starts. And you can see we've got the percentage, 21.7 are BAME, 10.1% are learning difficulties or disabled, 23.2% are between the 16 to 24-year-old bracket, 17.4% come from disadvantaged backgrounds, and 20% as females into STEM. So we've got quite healthy figures there of widening participation of our apprenticeship programme. And along with our performance figures below, you can see these were the from July 23 to June 24, we had total number of starts on programme at 69. Total number of withdrawals are 10. Break-in learnings are 11. Learners out of funding, that's 28. That doesn't mean they come off programme. That means the funding has all been paid for, but for some reason they're continuing with the practical period of learning. They will complete programme, but the funding has all been paid for. That's what that means. And then 34 achievers. And our achievement rate is 77%, and the national benchmark is 67. So we're very healthy with our achievement rate against the national benchmark. And we do continue to perform very well with our comparative councils as well with those statistics. So again, they're quite pleasing statistics to see. And as I've alluded to, moving on to 4.3, we've got some really exciting announcements that have been through from the government around the skills landscape. You may have heard some of the announcements. So we are going to be there's going to be the launch of Skills England in the autumn. You may have seen out in the press that the recruitment for the chair is out there at the moment, and for board members. That's currently happening. And this is to bring together the skills landscape and to boost our national skills. So what Skills England will be doing is bringing together central and local governments, businesses, training providers and unions to meet the skills needs of, over the next decade across all regions, and provide a strategic oversight of the post-16 skills system. So, and this will be aligned to the government's industrial strategy. So Skills England will also, this is where it sort of impacts on the levy, Skills England will also be identifying what training will be accessible to the new growth and skills levy. So the apprenticeship levy will be changing into the growth and skills levy. So, and then Skills England will identify what training can be accessed using this levy. So what we are hoping for is that it will be more flexible in the future. So not only will it be accessible to apprenticeships, but also for other means of training as well, maybe shorter courses. The emphasis is on social care and digital skills initially. That's what the first piece of work is going to be around. But and then it will work into other areas of the skills landscape. So Skills England is going to be established in phases over the next 9 to 12 months. And it's going to support to create a responsive and collaborative skills system. So I've listed there the top priorities for the next skills, the next steps for the Skills England. And as you can see, the first phase is to launch and get the DFE to start work on the assessments, so that we can have stronger relationships with employers, with the unions, and also, and so that's the first step, to start to involve employers more, and so we can have a larger voice in the development of the skills landscape. So the route for employers to shape the skills at the moment is going to be currently staying with the Institute of the Apprenticeships and Technical Education in the short term, while the Skills England is established. So, and then Skills England will have responsibility for the eligible training, as I mentioned, and that's hopefully we're going to start to see some announcements in the autumn around that. And then the government will put this comprehensive strategy together for the post-16 education, and which will hopefully break down barriers to opportunity and support the development of skilled workforce. So as you can see, it's quite an exciting time over the autumn. And I think also with our, the development of the EMCA skills landscape as well. We will be feeding into that consultation with our officers who are participating in the EMCA skills agenda. So we'll be feeding in there as well. So it's watch this space. I will be bringing further updates to the committee as we receive them. So I think it's going to be quite exciting times for us. And then 4.4 is the usual. It's the update on our levy spend. So, and this again, as normal, it's from April 2017 to August 2024. And we have transferred 5.3 million just over into the levy to date. We have drawn down 2.9 million for internal apprenticeships, and we have transferred the 317,000 to local businesses, and we have had a clawback of nearly 700,000. But just to note, we haven't had any clawback in this calendar year at all, and we still have got quite a nice cushion that keeps us away from that threshold. And with the starts that we've got coming up in the autumn, that will push us further away from the threshold. So we are quite positive there that we're going to be remaining in zero expired funds. So, and the last table is a breakdown of our year-on-year levy payments and our year-on-year spend for your information. So thank you very much for the opportunity to update you all, and I welcome any questions.
Thank you, Tanya. Any questions, councillors? Councillor Bonser.
Yeah, great work as always. Tanya, thank you for the report. I just wondered, in terms of the new levy, the new fund, will the old one, the apprenticeship levy, transfer over into that?
Yes.
And the other part to that question, I suppose, is do you see sort of a widening of the opportunities to use that fund, and therefore a reduction in the amount of clawback? You follow me?
This is what we are hoping.
Is that the intention?
That's the intention, yes. So the fund literally will change name. So the fund will remain the same within the, and it will still be, at this point, we're being informed, it will still be 0.5% of our salary bill. So that will remain the same, and the funding rules will remain the same as are for the apprenticeship side of that. We are awaiting what training will be available to us outside of that and what flexibilities, but the aim is, yes, to utilise more of the funding to support with our
short courses.
Yes,
yeah,
potentially. That's what we're hoping.
So there might be an opportunity to use it, for example, for maths and English or whatever, or, you know, basic skills.
There may be. At the moment, we use the adult funding for that, adult education funding for that. So we use that utilise through DALS. So we do get functional skills without a cost to the organisation. But we're hoping that other potentially mandatory courses, more health and safety, more like the children's diploma, potentially. This is our hope, that these will come under the realm of the levy.
And that'd be great, rather than lose that, you know, that.
Yes, exactly. Or do that double spend where we have to spend on training courses outside of the levy. So yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Any questions, councillors?
Sorry, just a quick one on apprenticeship. With the BAME community, I don't see what getting an opportunity for apprenticeships at the council, you know, especially from the Pakistani Muslim community. I don't see many on board. Is there a particular reason, or?
We do continue to work with communities and go out to as many outreach events as we can with the resources we have. So there is active work within communities to encourage people to come into the organisation. So
I've not seen my community, you know active work. Encourage our children to come forward.
I've been working with the Open Table group earlier this year. It was down in the Wardwick, down there. I was working with those. We were at events there. We also have events within the council house to encourage different communities to come in, where we've got our opportunities there as well. And we reach out to our local training providers with events there where we encourage people to come in. So
And you think we should, this is just a.
yes, we can always do more work.
Yeah, they think we should go to the community. They'll have open day in the community, and I've not heard anybody from the council come on to the community. You might go, but I've not heard anything. And where we are getting complaints coming to us that the council ain't taking our people on, you're not even in proper jobs as well as apprenticeships.
Chair, may I?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, thanks, councillor. That's really helpful feedback, and I think we're very happy to pick up an action outside the personnel committee, perhaps to reach back out and have a conversation with you, councillor, now as also with our Black Employees Network as well, to get feedback about, as colleagues who work in the council, what feedback would you give about either the way we advertise or how we reach out, as you say, and what opportunities are here. And we're just doing some work at the moment. We publish every year, as we're required to do under the Equalities Act, our employment equality statistics around the makeup of our workforce, how many applicants we get across the different protected characteristics, and including apprenticeships. So we're just doing some analysis of last financial year's data, and we're also in the process of refreshing our equality, diversity and inclusion council action plan and Webster leads on. And some of what you're helpfully feeding back to us will be something we can take on board in terms of an action going forward, looking at how we might be able to do some more outreach work, listening to community are telling us, and also some of our network members who are currently employed, about how we might break down if there's that perception or that barrier that people feel is there. So through the chair, thank you, Councillor Noah. That's really helpful. I think it's come at a very timely point as well, as we're refreshing some of our equality objectives. Thank you.
There is a possibility, I don't know, but you can give us sort of figures of the Pakistani Muslim community, how much apprenticeship people are on board or something.
Yep, as I say, Councillor, we're showing some of that shortly in this report that we publish annually, our employment equality stats. So we'll be able to pick that point up. But thank you, that's really helpful feedback.
In relation to that, then, we're showing that the all new starts, we're showing the BAME at 21.7%. As a percentage of the population that will take apprenticeships, what percentage is it of the population that are BAME? Because that gives us an idea of whether we're over or under or thereabouts. So whether we've got more work to do, or I don't know if we could find that figure out next time, probably.
I can try and find that. I can do some contact Anne Webster and see if we can get some work around the percentage breakdown of our community.
Yep.
Yeah, sure.
We will definitely have that, Chair. We have that through the, we reflect that in our quality stats that we're just referencing. Apologies, we've not got it in front of us here and there.
Helps us know whether we, it's a
absolutely.
Something to benchmark against, isn't it?
And we've got nationally very detailed data on that at a regional level through the more recent census, the national census that was done a couple of years ago. So we've got a more updated picture about population in the city. So we can definitely reflect. Thank you.
And then my other question, Tanya, we're saying that at the moment the funding's under the Institute for Apprenticeships and Technical Education. How long's it been under that? And is that institute a long-standing institute?
It is a long-standing institute.
Because I'm in an institute myself through the electrical stuff, but so now it's going to go away from them completely, and it's going to be under this new Skills
England, yes.
And I have concerns when things go under new banners, if things get aren't controlled as well. That's all. I have concerns about that. That's all.
Yeah, the levy has been controlled by the institute since it came in April 2017. Yeah. So it has been under the realm of the institute since then, but it's all under the Department for Education.
Yes,
it's an arm of that. So hopefully, by bringing it together, it will support
So will
But-
the institute still be involved?
The institute is going to merge into
The institute
The institute is going to merge into Skills England. Yeah,
So
so
that's
we'll
the
merge
institute will
into, so,
become Skills England under a new name.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's quite reassuring. Thank you. Any other questions, councillors? No. That concludes the meeting then. Thank you all for attending. And see you all again in